Welcome to lesson 113 for the 6th grade. We're looking at mixed measures and powers of 10 today. I look at this concept and I'm like, man, after lesson 112, they must just think that you guys are just worn out, just dead tired, because they're giving you something not too difficult, right? Kind of a big review lesson to help us. Maybe that's why I give you a break, help those integers soak in, and better understand what's going on here. Mixed measures is really all about understanding converting units when you start to get numbers that are exceeding the limit of what can fit in our conversions. Oh man, what a big sentence that is. Let's talk about what I mean here, right? We know that if I have 60 minutes, it's equal to 1 hour. So if the hike from the trail to the waterfall took 1 hour and 50 minutes, and the return trip took 1 hour and 40 minutes, altogether, how many hours and minutes long was the hike? Okay, well, I'm going to put my things together, right? I'm going to take 1 hour, 50 minutes, and I'm going to add another hour and 40 minutes. Put that plus sign there, add my things together. I'm going to get 2 hours and 90 minutes. But of course, instantly, you can say, oh, I know that. That's not really acceptable because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So I can take 60 of those minutes away and I can convert it. And so for a final answer, I can get 3 hours and 30 minutes, right? So I took 60 of them from here, moving them over here, and subtract the 60 to get my 30, 3 hours, 30 minutes. Dealing with mixed measures. Another example can be like this, right? To measure vertical leap, Ty first reaches high as he can against the wall. He reached 6 feet 5 inches. Then he put chalk on his fingertips and jumped as high as he can. He slaps the wall. The top of the chalk mark is 8 feet 3 inches. How high off the ground did Ty jump? All right. Okay. So what we see here, if we use this little picture here, right? We got a wall, right? And he reached up and he put a mark right there. And then he jumped with that chalk, and that chalk hit right there. And we got our two measurements, right? First line, second line. But the question is really asking, how far off the ground did his feet get? Right? We wouldn't say he actually jumped 8 feet 3 inches. Yeah, that's how far his fingertips went. But how far off the ground did he get? All right? But to do this, we can use our formula, right? Here is our larger distance. And we can subtract that from the original distance. And we can solve this. But of course, the first thing you can do is you're going to subtract your inches. And as you subtract your inches, you're going to say, well, if I have 3 inches, I can't subtract 5 inches. So I'm going to have to borrow, right? And so because I know that 1 foot equals 12 inches, I can borrow a foot. This becomes a 7, right? And I'm going to add 12 to my 3 to get 15 inches, right? Took this 12, added it to the 3, got 15. Now I can subtract. 15 minus 5 gives me 10 inches. 7 feet minus 6 feet gives me 1 foot, 10 inches. And now we think about, okay, is that really that high? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he needs to, do a little exercising, work on his vertical. Maybe it's good. Maybe you got to measure your own. Can you jump 1 foot, 10 inches off the ground? Interesting concept. But we see how converting that works to be able to do this properly. So that's our first idea. Second idea, of course, is all about working with powers of 10. As we work with powers of 10, we're really working backwards from a method we've used in the past. Right? It says write 5 3/10 times 10 to the second in standard notation. Right? So write it normally. Right? And to do that, okay, first I have to understand what that means, right? 10 to the second power, right? That literally means 10 times 10, right? The other trick we learned is that you could take your 1, and this is how many zeros you need. So I need 1 with 2 zeros. And of course, 10 times 10 equals 100. And then, of course, I'm going to go like this and multiply this. And because we're multiplying by 100, we know we don't really have to line this up and multiply. We can just say, okay, 2 zeros, 1, 2, and get a final answer of 530. Your turn. Your turn. Work with this idea to write it with powers of 10. Right? With powers of 10. Okay. That's the end of lesson 13.